Let's give an honest assessment of Brock Purdy. First of all, let's start with the good. Despite how poorly he played, 12 of 27, 125 yards, touchdown, interception, 55.3 quarterback rating. Despite all that, the end of the game, he led the drive that should have won the game, which is encouraging because this was Purdy at his worst. And yet, when the chips were down and he needed to do what he needed, he moved the ball. He was about to go 3 and out. He threw the ball short of the sticks on 3rd and 10, got a defensive holding penalty, and cruised from there on out. So that's the mark of a good quarterback. Even on your worst day, you can win the game. He put the team in position to win. So I wouldn't say he was an F, but what he did in this game was really disconcerting because last week we were saying crazy stuff. Is this guy an MVP? Is this guy elite? Is this guy the next Joe Montana, Steve Young? Like, no, not yet. Absolutely not. Not going to win an MVP with a game like this on his resume. This was bad. 125 yards. He had 72 for most of the game. Like, he missed multiple deep throws again. He had Christian McCaffrey wide open deep for a touchdown, missed him. He couldn't hold on. He couldn't grip the ball. It was rainy. I don't know. He couldn't hold it. The ball slipped out of his hand once. He landed on it. It was a fumble. Thank goodness he landed on it. He couldn't drive the ball through the wind. It's like he really couldn't control where the ball was going. He missed wide, he missed high, he missed behind. He threw one pick. He could have easily thrown 3. He threw one to a linebacker, he threw one to a corner that dropped it. By far the worst he's played. And at a certain point, it felt like Kyle Shanahan didn't trust him anymore. I wouldn't have trusted him either. He did not have control over the ball in this game until the very last drive. So, I don't know. Is it a one-off for Brock Purdy? Maybe. Remember, he's going against the best defense in the league other than the Niners. Not many other defenses have the talent to do to Brock what Cleveland did. But I feel like Jim Schwartz, that defensive coordinator, probably showed a blueprint to the rest of the league what you should be doing to Brock Purdy. And I'm not sure exactly what that blueprint is. I'm going to have to watch the film. Got to watch the film, just like the coaches say. But I feel like this is big. This is the first time that the Niners offense looked bad with Brock Purdy on the field. And maybe that's because the Browns are a great defense, and maybe it's because Debo got hurt and McCaffrey got hurt, but still had Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle and Jordan Mason and Kyle Shanahan, and it was like 7 points on the first drive and then 14 the rest of the way. And one of those touchdowns came because Deommodore Lenoir intercepted a pass and put the ball on the 8-yard line for the Niners offense, and then Jordan Mason ran it in. So Brock Purdy, like, what do you have? What, 1 good drive? 2 good drives? 2 good drives in this game? 2 or 3? Yeah. Still think you got to remember, he's only like 14 games into his career. Don't want to make big statements about him because we're still learning. He hasn't really faced adversity. Today was the first adversity he's faced other than getting injured. And he responded at the end, but 17 points. It should have been 23. It should have been 23 if Jake Moody hadn't missed those kicks. But 23, hey, I mean, in a bad week against a great defense, missing players, sure. It's not the worst. So let's not overreact to this. What we learned today is that Brock Purdy is human. He's not just going to put up 30 points like it's breathing every week. The book on him is getting a little bit better. He is a product of his supporting cast to a degree. Everyone is. And when you take away Debo and Christian McCaffrey, it gets a lot more difficult. We saw today what Brock Purdy would look like on other teams against a great defense. So nothing to overreact about, but definitely brings us back down to earth on Brock Purdy. Let's be honest. He's not an elite quarterback. He's a very promising young quarterback on a very, very good team who has a lot of growth left. And to Brock Purdy's credit, he improves. Like, every quarterback has a bad game. I don't think he's going to have 2 in a row. I wouldn't expect that. Next week, he's going to be in a dome in Minnesota. No wind, no rain. He's going to be really good. So we learned a little bit about Brock Purdy. We came back down to earth. We sobered up. He's still a good quarterback. He's still the right guy for the Niners. Hibernate HB Nate 55 says, can we get the definition of a forward pass, please? No, you're not allowed to do that in the NFL. Zach Rivera says, did Purdy clutch up on the last drive or meh? I thought he was clutched on the last drive. Jake Booty is the weak link, says Niners Dodgers. That was very creative. Omar says, here's $5. 29er says, here's $2. Did Kyle Shanahan PTSD kick on BP when spiking on second down? Maybe. Gerardo Ramirez, $2. Geo Dude says Jake was a bit too moody, drafted a kicker instead of that right tackle that zeroed Nick Bosa, saying it all off-season draft DeJuan Jones. Yep, they probably regret that one. Forever says 30 seconds, one timeout, don't try to get more yards for a win. To be fair, like the issue wasn't the length. Like Jake Moody just kicked it as hard as he could and missed wide right. I'm not going to blame Kyle on that one, man. 41-yard kick and you bomb it to the right. Like just tap it in. Tap it in. Give it a little tappy. Tap, tap, taparoo. He should have hit the little tap, tap, taparoo. But he went like Happy Gilmore, shuffle, drive, and just bombed it to the right, man. Stop. Tap it in, man. Send it home. The ball just wants to go home. Bags are packed. It's got his plane ticket. Send it home. But Jake didn't want to do that, did he? Hi, Grant. Jim Schwartz is 9-1 against Kyle Shanahan. Correct. Wave 9, big statements were made about the last guy in the rain. That's true, man. That's true.